Hi friends, I'm Reverend Leanne Armstrong, and this is Gimme 5. If you'll give me 5-ish minutes, I'll do my best to give you a spiritual deep breath to begin-ish your week with. This is one of those weeks that I could use the spiritual deep breath myself. I want to tell you a story from 2 Kings about a guy named Naaman who needed some help with healing. We've probably all been there. The weird thing about Naaman was that he expected to have to work for it. He wanted his healing to be difficult, and he demanded no less. He heard about a healing that was coming out of a foreign land. He got his own king to write a letter to the king of this foreign land. He packed up his chariots with gold and silver and, for some reason, fancy suits of clothing to take as payment for his healing. He traveled to this foreign land, and once he finally got directed to the guy who was actually doing the healing, who was definitely not the king, he was underwhelmed by what the healing would actually be. The healing would actually be, go down to the creek down there, dunk yourself 7 times, and you'll be clean. Now, to me, who lately has seen people struggling with getting well, struggling with doing better, struggling to improve and recover, having a simple cure sounds pretty darn great. But not for Naaman. He walked away from that healing. He was like, if it's not going to be hard, if it's not going to be flashy, if it's not going to be the top of the line, I don't want it. We've got better creeks back where I came from if I just wanted to jump in the water and wallow around for a little bit. And it took some of his underlings coming to him and saying, dude, why not give it a try? If somebody came to you and said, do something really hard to get better, wouldn't you do that? Why not try this really easy thing? This small thing, this simple thing to get better. Eventually, Naaman listened to them. Good for him. And he went down to the creek, and he dunked himself 7 times, and he washed. And it worked. It worked. And I've been thinking about this. Number one, I've been thinking how silly it was of him to disregard something just because it sounded simple or easy. Then I've also been thinking about myself, how often I will say, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And thinking about all the quack cures that I dispense with out of hand. So maybe Naaman and I have more in common than I'd like to think, although my chariots are not full of silver or gold or fancy suits of clothes. This is about it for me. But then I got to started thinking, how many times when I think God is calling me to something for the kingdom, or I wish that God would call me to something for the kingdom, do I dream of the grand gesture, the bully pulpit, this big old light of mine that I want to let shine for God, the loud microphone the stage with 1,000,000 spotlights, the sacrifice that I will not only feel, but that everyone else would notice too. How often do I want to be given the big thing to do for God when maybe God is calling me to that small thing? Maybe that small, repetitive, daily thing that I can do for the kingdom. And it makes me think how often I can stand outside demanding to be given a big, hard thing to do for God. And all the time, God is saying to me, go down to the creek, wash 7 times, and you'll fulfill what I'm calling you to do. Just a little something I'm thinking about. Beloved, as you go, and go you will, know this: God might call you to the big stuff, but go remembering that this world is made of layer upon layer of the little stuff. God calls you there too, every single day. Amen.